Hey, what's up? It's Stephanie Liu, and guess what? Showrunner is back, and this time, Ecamm and I are taking you behind the scenes into the world of live selling. Live selling is projected to become a $25 billion, yes, billion market by 2023, and this season, we are going all out on how to teach you how to turn browsers into buyers. So let's do this, fam.
'Cause it's finally, yeah, finally, yeah, oh, 'cause it's finally, yeah, finally, yeah, ooh.
OMG, we already got the crew in the house already. I'm excited. I saw Jeff C pop through. Jeff, so wonderful to see you. And in fact, I'm actually going to be on his show tomorrow to be talking about a Showrunner Part 2, live selling strategies and secrets on how you can turn browsers into buyers. So friends, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm here in beautiful, sunny San Diego, and yeah, can't complain. Can't complain. We've got a new season of Showrunner and we are having a ton of fun. And so when we do this, anytime that I'm sharing something with you, we got the moderators in there. Let's do this thing. As always, put a Q in front of any of the questions. That way I know that you're actually asking a question. Otherwise, it's just a comment. I feel like Paul Duncan. Paul Duncan is the one that trademarked that. Shout out to Caleb. Love you so much. So happy to have you here. So, friends, as I was saying before, live selling is projected to become a $25 billion market by 2023. Live commerce, if you think about it, live commerce blends entertainment and instant checkouts that offers retailers, brands, and content creators a new channel to reach and engage audiences. It's no secret that live shopping is on the rise. You can now shop on Amazon Live, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the list goes on. In fact, for those of you that are tuning in, if you've actually purchased something on Amazon Live before, please let me know in the comments. Jeff C, I'm looking at you because I feel like, you're doing this as well. You got your show going on over there. Good. Yep. See, got Paul Duncan in the comments. Absolutely love it. We've got Colorado Springs in the house. I saw Miami, Florida come through from Mr. Camera Junkie. Amazing. All right. So let's talk about this. Live shopping is not just a thing, but it's the future of retail. And honestly, if you've been wondering, Steph, where have you been? Lights, Camera, Live, Showrunner, what have you been up to? That's literally where I've been behind the scenes. I've been producing live shopping events for Fortune 100 brands, companies like Always in Tampax, P&G, all the things. Yeah, and just last month, if you've been following me on social media, I worked with Once Upon a Farm for their live shopping event on livescale.tv. And if you don't know Once Upon a Farm, that's actually owned by the celebrity actress Jennifer Garner, who is an amazing human being altogether. Love her shows, love her movies, all the things. And so I'm really here to talk to you about the evolution of live shopping and how you, Ecamm fam, can definitely play a part in that. Because if you remember, right? If you remember in season 1, and we talked about the evolution of live streaming in general, how it started off as a content creator. You're a content creator, you're crushing it, you're learning all the different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, all the things, right? And then it became into this new evolution of, okay, now brands wanted to sponsor you. And so we even spent some time talking about, well, how do you talk to brands? How do you tell brands what it is exactly that you do? And then from there, if you wanted to be a remote live video producer, still again leveraging Ecamm, right? Then how would you price your services for all of that? So this is an extension of season number 1. We're diving deep into live shopping. I love the questions that are already coming up. Jeff C's already got one in there. As you drop your questions in here, I'm going to jump in here and put stars by them so I know to go back to them. So for those of you that are just tuning in, ooh, we got Valerie in here. Valerie, so good to see you. So for those of you that don't know what live shopping is, it looks like a modern twist on QVC or all of those home shopping networks. And yet it's happening on every platform. And influencers instead of celebrities are actually leading the charge. And what's beautiful, what's absolutely amazing is that remote live producers like you and I are getting a cut of the sales. So in this first episode of this 8-part series, I'm telling you, it's a masterclass every single time. I'm going to take you on a journey of the future of retail and what that means for you, whether you're a content creator, whether you're a live streamer, or if you're like me as a remote live video producer. Wherever you are in this journey, we have content for you. We have strategies, techniques, all the things to really help you elevate how you're leveraging Ecamm for you, your business, whatever it is that you have planned for 2022. What we're going to be talking about is really the future of retail and how to leverage live selling. You're going to get insights as to what is happening in the live selling production, where you merge and what your role is as a live selling producer. Trademark that now. Live selling producer, yes? You're going to gain a competitive edge in the market because I'm going to share with you all the different things that I've learned. And sorry, I couldn't help but laugh because building blocks is just like, I absolutely love your excitement as you talk about live shopping. I know that's gotta be Anna because I was just hanging out with her in Fulgence earlier this week. Good. All right. So before we get started, let me tell you something else that's going to be happening. Because this is going to be an 8-part series, these are all of the episodes that we have lined up for you. So today is going to be the future of retail. The week after that is going to be getting started with live selling. So if you haven't already gotten your notebooks and all the things, make sure you grab those. May 19th, we're going to be talking about how to script your live selling stream because it is very different from your typical live stream. There's things that we need to be mindful of as far as intros, hooks, teasers, segments, demos. OMG, please put a star by that. Demos. Not only that though, but the shopping window. How do you prep your audience in order to understand how do they shop, right? Because if you're using any of the live shopping platforms that are out there and they're not familiar with it, if you're taking them away from, Facebook, Instagram, and all those other places, they have to learn how to use that platform. So we'll do that. And P.S. by the way, I've got my brother from another mother in here, Doc Rocket says, I'll help y'all shop. He's the one that pretty much has a direct line of credit in my house. That's my CTO. If you're ever looking for someone that can help you, that is Doc Rock. Hey, Doc. Hey. Good. All right. So then May 26th, we're going to be talking about live selling tips, producer's checklist. This is going to be very different from what you learned in season 1 because more often than not, when brands or these live shopping platforms are bringing you in as a live selling producer, there are different stakeholders that you are responsible for. There's the live shopping platform. There's the brand that may have the host or even the celebrity or even the influencer. Yes. The third party that you might not even be aware of is the PR company, and the PR company or the talent agency that is responsible for hiring the influencer. This producer's checklist is on a whole nother level. And so shout out to Monty Weaver, who just joined the show. He and I were just on another episode this week. It's so good to see the fam here. I absolutely love it. Good. Let me tell you then what happens next. So then in June, we're going to be talking about 2022 trends and what you can expect. Good. So we're pretty much, by that point, we're halfway into 2022. At that point, and I will tell this between you, me, and the Wi-Fi, is that there are a lot of brands out there right now that are running their pilot campaigns in the first half of the year. They're going to have their case studies and all those different things. And that's what's really going to drive the second half of the year. Because what happens in the second half of the year? You have back to school, you have the holidays, you have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the different things. And that's your time to shine. Honestly, if you haven't even thought about it yet, I feel like I know the second half of my year is definitely going to blow up as far as live selling production. Good. All right. And then June 3rd, Ecamm fam, we're going to have an actual live selling extravaganza. Preston Self, Sylvia Nixon. We're going to walk through the whole entire process of how to do a Facebook live shopping segment from beginning, middle to end. So how do you prep your client in the Facebook marketplace? How do you promote it so that people are buzzing with excitement before they even get started? How do you, as a live selling producer, how do you make sure that your client has followed all of the instructions so that when you actually go live, there is an opportunity for you to have that instant checkout? Good? Great. Then we have June 9th, which is just going to be live selling producer, how to price your services. Because again, Ecamm is an investment. The return on your investment in Ecamm, Doc Rock, you're going to love this, but I told Anna and Fulgens, I was like, Ecamm helps me flex, right? I was born to flex. That's what I do with Ecamm. And so I'm going to show you how when I step into the arena, when it's my turn to pitch my live selling production, this is what I do, right? Good. Then we're going to be talking about Showrunner. Showrunner, which is live selling. Oh, June 16th. Sorry, let me go back real quick. So June 16th, at that point, once we've given you the whole runway about live selling production and all the different things, then we're going to have a live selling roundtable and workshop. What that means is that all these amazing brands, platforms, things that I've been talking to you about, this is an opportunity for you to network with other live selling producers to talk about, hey, how are you doing this? Or, hey, I need a second producer for this, or I need a script writer. Ooh, I need a casting director. Whoever it is that you need to do or need for your production, that's going to be a part of it. Yeah. The other piece too is we're going to have these live shopping platforms be on deck to pretty much answer your questions. So I saw one that just came from Zeno. Thank you, Paul. Zeno says, will you be discussing the shipping aspect of this? I will not. So if that's what you came here for, I will not. That's pretty much going to be on the brand side and whatever live shopping platform that they work on that. Okay. This is more for the producer and for the live selling production of a live selling stream. So again, thank you, Paul Duncan. You are the absolute best. Yay. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and hop right in because this is what I got going for you. P.S. by the way, if you didn't catch all of these dates, make sure that you go ahead and add it to your calendar right now. Head on over to ecamm.tv/live selling, and that's going to make sure that you are RSVP'd ahead of time for all of these things. Katie also wants me to let you know that when you RSVP, then you'll have the opportunity to have the workshops, the freebies, and all the different things. Good. So shout out to Holly Hoop Yoga, who just jumped in from Georgia. Welcome to the show. Let's go ahead and get started. When we talk about live streaming and live shopping in general, that market, that industry is estimated to be worth $35 billion in the US by 2024. If we talk about this in comparison to what's happening in China, it pales in comparison. But that doesn't mean that brands aren't paying attention to what China is doing. Right? There is so much to learn from what China is doing. These big brands that I've been working with, they're paying attention. They're watching, they're analyzing these streams. They're paying attention to how these platforms are actually integrating that checkout process. So this is going to be one of those opportunities for you to start paying attention to. Having said that, I want to give a shout out to Dean Reynolds Media because he just came through and I love it. Good. So live shopping in general, it's going to be a thing. And this is your opportunity to start deciding how do you want to separate yourself from the sea of sameness? Because if you've been following me over the years, I started off as a content creator, right? Then I started working with brands. Then it was about like creating mini episodes, mini series, all the things. And then now it's been producing for other clients, and I've produced shareholder meetings, investor meetings, virtual summits. And now what we have is we have e-commerce entering into the chat, entering into the arena and saying, we need a live video producer. Things that I think would be really helpful for you to understand is also this. Let me make sure that I can move this over here. Come on, friend. Oh, you know what? Did it do it? Oh, let me see. I want to see if it just made this a little, let me check real quick. It's my PDF. Come back over here. Oh, let me move this over here. There you go. Yay. Okay, there it is. All right. So when we talk about live shopping, a lot of people are always asking, what are the biggest categories that are out there? Apparel and fashion, I will say, account for the majority of it. 36% of live stream shopping events, that's generally where it's at. I feel like Monty Weaver, he's probably going to hop in the comments and be like, hey, tech as well. This doesn't mean that there aren't other categories for you to dive into. What I will say is that if you wanted to broaden your experience as a live selling producer, then think about which categories you really want to be a part of, because there's beauty and fashion, there's consumer electronics, there's home goods, there's consumer packaged goods, there's all these different things. And so when you have this opportunity to do that, then start branding yourself for that. Yeah. Let people know, what are you best known for? So one of the things, I don't even know if you know this, but one of the things when I first started live streaming was I would tell people I help brands and entrepreneurs go from unknown to unforgettable by leveraging live video. Pretty much. And that told people what's my premium cost, right? So I could charge with confidence because I would already tell them what I'm working with. If you're saying, hey, small and pop shops, that's great. If you're like, hey, museums and raffles or auctions, all of those things, real estate, start letting people know what it is that you are going to niche in. And so I'm looking at images by Gretchen. She's saying art. Oh, wait, why did that one show up? Wait, okay, so Holy Hoop Yoga live stream shows. I just opened an e-commerce store selling POD products. What does POD stand for? You're gonna have to let me know what that means. I was trying to get images by Gretchen. Okay, so she's saying art. That's great, because when you let people know what niche, what industry you're in, you're going to be speaking that language. So for someone like Gretchen, who's probably working with art curators, museums, things of that sort, I can't really speak to what that industry needs. I can't speak that lingo, but I know that now if someone came to me from a museum, like let's say the San Diego Museum of Art, I can refer Gretchen. This is one of those opportunities where I want you guys to start talking to people. Yeah? Good. So let me go back over here. Again, if you could put a cue before your questions, that's going to be really helpful for me. So Paul, I'm going to need you to drop the hammer.
Hit you with that do-do-do-do-do.
You need to go in there and tell these people. Teach them. All right, so apparel and fashion accounts account for 36% of live streams, but that doesn't mean you can't explore other avenues, okay? That's going to be an opportunity for you. Oh, Doc Rock is saying print on demand and the yoga. Okay, thank you so much. So let's also talk about the popularity of live stream shopping platforms in the US. I put this in here because I feel like everyone already knows this, and I'm going to teach you something different, yeah? Because yes, YouTube, yes, Facebook Live, yes, Instagram Live, yes, Amazon Live, and even TikTok. But here's the thing, is that when you're working with these different brands, with these different companies, they want to start owning their platforms. They don't want to give a cut to all of those other live shopping platforms that are out there. And so while those are good to know, I feel like you should already have those under your belt. And if you don't, then we'll still talk about those too. But I'm really here to elevate your skills, because for you as a live selling producer, you should know the difference between the advantages of YouTube live shopping versus Instagram live shopping, which, let's be honest, let's cut to the chase. One is 16:9, the other one is 9:16. One is connected to a marketplace, the other one you could integrate with other third-party shopping platforms. Yeah? Good. All right, so then having said that, let's go back over here. I appreciate you. I love it when you're here. Good. So the popularity of live stream shopping platforms in the US, this is definitely something for you to be mindful of. If you don't know what's happening on any of these social media platforms as far as how they're integrating instant e-commerce checkout, now is the best time, because it's already May, which means Q1 of 2022, every single one of these platforms have already put out their earnings reports. This is for you to do a control find and be like, oh, what are they doing in the live shopping arena? What is it that I need to know to level up myself when it comes to live shopping in general? Let's also talk about this. When I say live selling producer, I want to make a clear distinction now on the difference between a live video producer and a live selling producer. When I would tell people I'm a live video strategist, I tell them that I help them strategize as far as how to go from unknown to unfreaking forgettable. We talk about run of shows, we talk about on-camera talent, all those different things. When you think about live selling producer, now you're getting more niche, right? So the live selling producer is responsible for developing, programming, and producing a live shopping stream that blends entertainment and e-commerce. That's really important for you to remember, because A lot of times I feel like when clients come to me and they want to do a live shopping stream, it is very rigid. It is very like, I don't know, vanilla. And you, because you're so familiar with Ecamm and you know all the wonderful things that we do, we have to inject excitement. Because here's the thing, people don't buy if it's just going to be facts. If people bought because of facts, right? They'd be bored out of their mind. People want to see demos. People want their questions answered, right? This is your opportunity to really dive into that and really differentiate yourself from the sea of sameness. So as a live selling producer, honestly, you could even hop onto LinkedIn Live, or not LinkedIn Live, but LinkedIn right now and start taking a look at these job descriptions that are out there. Take a look at these production companies. A lot of these brands too, for those of you that are even thinking about going in-house, they're looking for someone with those capabilities that understands the psychology behind selling, the psychology around human dynamics, behavior, and all the different things. Good? Great. So live selling producer is responsible for developing, programming, and producing a live shopping stream. And I say this to you, and I say this to you with love, because as a live selling producer, you are more than someone that is just switching the scenes. Yeah. It's your name that is producing that event. And it's because of the value, the insights that you have to offer that's really going to help the client reach their goals. Let me explain why that's so important. Generally what happens is that you will have a client that is interested in doing live selling. They have this idea, maybe they have extra budget, maybe it's experimental budget. And then what you also have is a live shopping platform, whether it's the social media platforms or it's like livescale.tv. These live shopping platforms know how they function as a live shopping platform. They know pretty much like the basics of like, hey, here are some best practices, but what they don't have is you. And you, when you're in the middle, you are the conduit that has to understand what the client is envisioning, what they think it should look like, what it should sound like. And for you, that's where you come in with Ecamm. You're like, oh, is it going to look like this? Do you want it to sound like this? Now you're starting to make it come to life. But even as you're building that, right? Even as you're building that, you still have to be aware of the requirements for the live shopping platforms, because as I said before, some of them are 9x16, some of them are 16x9, some of them are even 4x3, which threw me for a loop. But thank you so much, Ecamm, because I had that freedom and that flexibility. Yeah. Not only that though, but when you are learning about these live shopping platforms, and I'll show you a few of them, is that you have to be aware of what the user interface is, not only on the producer side, but from the consumer's perspective. Because oftentimes when we're doing the storyboard, me as the live selling producer, I have to say, okay, and so when we talk about this product, what happens on the live shopping platform? Does the product appear down here? Is it up there? Like, where specifically is it? Because I'll be damned if my talent is standing right here and then all of a sudden there's like a product like floating above his or her face. Yeah, you already know this in Ecamm because you know where certain things are. If I'm on Facebook, I'm like, okay, cool, my viewer count is going to be over here. Yeah. So it makes sense for me to put my brand logo over there. If I'm on YouTube, you tell me what it is that you know, right? If I am going to be putting some overlays, I know that sometimes if you have monetization turned on, then you might have an overlay here for the ads. Okay. So that might get lost in there. I'm laughing because Jeff C was like 4x3. Was that in black and white too? I'm telling you, friend, that threw me for a loop, but I learned from it. Yeah. And so I'll share with you a couple of things that makes it really easy to do this too. Ooh, y'all are coming in hot with these questions. My goodness. All right. Where was I? Okay. So yes, you are going to be the conduit between the brand and the live shopping platform. You as a live selling producer, you have so much to offer, and I want you to be mindful of that. If you haven't looked at LinkedIn at job descriptions for what a live selling producer does, this is your opportunity to do that, because now I'm already planting the seed. If you have a landing page, time to update it. If you don't have a landing page, start researching. Yeah, start researching. And I'm so happy that Rocky Nash Live is here because we were hanging out earlier too. Okay, so now we know what a live selling producer does. Now I've given you a heads up as far as what to expect as far as your role goes. Let's talk about what else you could expect when it comes to live selling. When I work with clients, You've seen this before in season 1. I tell them that I am not just a scene switcher. I am your producer. I also come from an agency background where I've had more than 2 decades of experience in the marketing world. So when you come to me and you say, Stephanie, we want to have a live shopping event, this is everything that I bring to the table. Yeah. I want to know, what are your analytics? What's your creative? What's your paid media? What's your earned media? And what's your SEO? Again, this is coming from me as far as being a marketer and having this in my back pocket, because this is what separates me from the sea of sameness. You have to think about, for you as a live selling producer, what's your niche? Is it art? Is it museum? Is it antiques? Is it print on demand? Whatever it is, that's your specialty. But what is it that you know about your particular niche that when you show your clients what your onboarding process is, what makes you think different, is going to be really helpful. When you look at this, right? When you look at this, these are things that I personally use even in my pitch deck. So I want you to start thinking about how you are positioning yourself. Yeah? How you're positioning yourself. P.S. by the way, Caleb's in the audience. So Caleb, I know that we are working on some freebies and templates to put out there. Good. Stream Like a Boss with Tanya Smith jumped in and she said, I love that there are no limits to what you can do with live streaming in this moment. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so much that you can do and so much creativity that is out there. Good. Rocky says, I'm not just a live switcher, you're a live selling producer. Yes, update your LinkedIn. That's what you got to do. You got to let these brands know. I'm going to take a step back, because generally what happens is when these brands come to you and they're asking for you to help them with their live shopping event, they're most likely like the digital marketing manager, or they are the PR team. They know nothing when it comes to live streaming. And I say that with love. It's not their forte. It's not what they live and breathe for. You and me, we think about this all the time. We think in intros, hooks, teasers, overlays, all the things. That's our playground. And so when they come to you, they're looking for your guidance. They're looking for your expertise. Good. Love that Marie Daniels is here. Bring it on. Love it. Good. So here's what else. When I do the client onboarding, this is something that you should already have from season number 1, right? And it's pre-production, production, and post-production. This is what's going to separate you from the other producers that are out there, because pre-production, let me tell you something. As a live video producer, that client onboarding was always pretty simple in the sense of like, okay, make sure you have your gear, your lighting, your internet, all the different things. You guys got to run a show. That's awesome. What's different as a live selling producer is now, again, you have to be mindful of the live shopping platform. Yeah. You also have to know distinctly what is the call to action in the run of show. This is something that I didn't really care about as much as a live video producer, because I was like, those are usually series and people would tune in and all that different stuff. But when you're doing a live shopping event, you can see more often than not in the live shopping platform how they're actually selling. So when I was running the production, I'm like, dang, they need to increase sales, or hey, they said that promo code too fast, so I need to put that back on the screen, right? Then there's other things where you realize if I'm going to put a promo code on the screen, it can't just be an overlay graphic. I need to have a sound effect to have a pattern interrupt for people, especially if they're targeting moms. Because I was like, hey, listen, if I'm watching your live stream and I'm trying to shop, I'm probably doing laundry in the background too. Good? All right. So that's something to be mindful of. So be mindful of your client onboarding process. What separates you? This is a non-negotiable, I will say. You need to sit down with the client, the PR team, and the live shopping platform to really understand all of those different nuances so that you as a producer understand. The reason, again, why this is so important is because I was once in a live shopping event where all of a sudden the live shopping platform made an update and said, hey, we're not gonna do 4x3s anymore. We're just gonna make it 16x9. And then we went live, but all of our graphics were 4x3. The whole production was 4x3. And when we went live, it was stretched out. It didn't look the way that we wanted to. And thankfully, again, like as I said, With Ecamm, I just went into profiles, I duplicated it, changed it, boom, and we were good to go. Yeah? All right. So having said that, let's talk about the other things for the client onboarding. And then you have the production. Production is different this time around when you're a live selling producer. And let me explain why. Because in the production piece of it, me as a producer, I have the talent or talents, plural, that is happening pretty much in the Ecamm interview. If you're working with a live shopping platform, because they might have some bells and whistles on the platform itself, like the graphics, the polls, or just like showing the product on there, you will most likely want to have someone on your team that is familiar with that live shopping platform and all the different nuances, or you might actually have the client take on that role. Depends on what their budget is going to be, but I want you to start thinking about this. Yeah? So production, that's going to be a phase of it. Post-production, that's another important piece. Hopefully by this time around, when you're working with clients, you're already upselling them and you're telling them the value of your distribution strategy, how you can repurpose content. P.S. by the way, if you haven't seen that before, you need to go watch like any of the Lights Camera Live because we talk about that all the time. Good? So that's going to be your client onboarding. You are also responsible for a studio diagram. And we all know this because you're Ecamm fam, you're smart, you're producers, you've done this, you go live, and this is a part of you. It's like the air that you breathe. But I will tell you legit, when you're in the live selling production role, it's a completely different game. So I want you to start thinking about, what is your client onboarding process? What is your checklist? What are your diagrams? Because generally what happens is that if a brand is trying to work with a celebrity or even an influencer, yes, they'll have like an amazing social media following and whatnot, but you put them in front of the camera and they're like a deer in headlights. Yeah. A lot of times when these brands are working with these influencers, they don't focus on casting. They don't do an on-screen test. And more often than not, the first time an influencer is actually like, okay, I'm in the mindset now of doing a live shopping event, is when they're with you for the tech rehearsal. So please make sure that you're giving yourself enough lead time for all of that. Yeah? Good. Are you guys finding this super helpful? Because I see the comments like just like boof, flying by really, really fast. This is an intro right now. Remember, we have 8 weeks together pretty much at this point. Yeah? 8 weeks together. I'm giving you pretty much a high level overview of what I've learned over the past year and a half when it comes to live selling. Good. Let's talk about presenter. Again, remember, as a live selling producer, you have to be upfront with the brand/client. Yeah. The presenter can make or break a live shopping event. The presenter has to be the one that's inviting people to join the live presentation. Tell them what it's about. They need to have that excitement. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between seeing someone on Instagram and they have like 1 million followers and whatnot, but all of their images are static. You put them in front of a camera, it's like, can you speak clearly, concisely? Can you motivate someone to buy? This is what I was talking about earlier, is that, you know, if a client brought on a data scientist or a product specialist and they're talking about, oh, this is how many HDMI ports and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, that's not sexy. That doesn't make me want to buy. You know, you have to sell me on the idea of how this product is going to make my dream come true, how it's going to unlock all these opportunities. And so having someone that's familiar with the product, that can speak passionately about it, is going to be absolutely helpful. Even you as the live selling producer, if this is someone that they haven't been on camera before, like, look at me. When I'm talking to you and I get super hyped up, I move my hands, I move around. I have to be mindful of where my mic is because otherwise I'll accidentally hit it. Good? So let me go back to this again. When you're talking about the presenter, they have to invite the people. They have to generate buzz about the product. Sometimes when brands are working with these influencers are moving from one campaign to another campaign, and they may not have spent enough time to really understand the product. And so when you come through and you ask me a question about, the Stream Deck or like the Elgato face cam, all those different things, I could speak to it. I'd be like, yeah, I use my Elgato key lights all day, every day, whenever I need to. Yeah. I could speak to it, and it with passion. I have stories, I have metaphors, I have case studies, or things that I could share, stories that can help a buyer overcome their objection about purchasing a particular product. If it's an influencer that has never touched the product, if it's an influencer that has never really worked with the product, they can't come up with that stuff on the fly. And you can tell because you can see if they're trying to read off a teleprompter and whether it's genuine or not. So that's that's going to be super helpful. See, Doc R's like, hey, dang it, when I talk HDMI and Thunderbolts, it is extremely sexy. Yeah, because you know how to sell it, right? Doc, you know how to tell them what's possible. But when you have someone that's saying, this is how many HDMI ports, like just reading bullet points, that's whack, right? That's whack. But you, because you are a subject matter expert, you are a key opinion leader, KOL, PS, by the way, you want to write that down. When you are a key opinion leader, you can say that because you have that to back it up. Good? Let's go back over here. So presenter, they generate buzz. They're creating consumer trust through interactive and engaging personality-driven broadcasts. What I find, and again, I say this with love as a live selling producer, is that more often than not, you have to be mindful that most hosts, live shopping hosts, aren't used to seeing comments. They're not used to seeing all these questions and all these things come up. And so you have to lay the land of the production of like, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to tell you what I usually do. So I say, hey, if there's any questions that are coming up, it is most likely helpful for you to have like a Google Doc open, copy, paste it over, and then hand it over to the show host and say, okay, here are the questions, and let them go from there. Because when they're sitting in front of the camera, again, these are more often than not, these are people that are not used to live streaming. When they're sitting in front of the camera, they're not used to seeing the influx of questions that are coming in, right? They're already thinking like, oh my gosh, I need to remember all of these bullet points and all these different things, and how do I transition, right? So you have to be mindful of that. Be mindful of the experience for the brand. Be mindful of the experience for the consumer. Everything, how it looks, how it sounds. And that's why I was so specific. As a live selling producer, you are responsible for developing this programming. Yeah? Good. All right, let's go back over here and let's talk about some other things in here. The other things to be helpful about is the producer. So producers, you got to be mindful about what's happening behind the camera. If you're going to be on site, a lot of times I try to tell producers, the host is looking at you. And so if you're smiling and you're like, yeah, that was good, you're giving them a thumbs up, that gives the instant confidence to your show host that they're doing a good job and they should keep going. Producers, I say this again with love, because sometimes we're so engaged in our work that like we have that resting face where we're like so concentrated, and sometimes that could really throw off your show host. So I want you to be mindful of that when you're thinking about it. Cool? All right. So other things, you're responsible for sharing the product on the screen. So again, you could have one producer that is managing Ecamm and then another producer that is managing the live shopping platform. You guys know this because you're wicked smart, but there's going to be a delay from Ecamm Live, the studio, from how then it goes into the live shopping platform. So make sure that they're wearing headphones, that there is no feedback that's going on there. These are all things that you have to be mindful of. These are all things that you need to have in that kickoff call, in those conversations. So everything that I'm telling you right now, this is a part of like the onboarding process. Good? Great. Here's the other thing too, is that it's always helpful in a live shopping stream to have a helper, especially if the brand or the client plans on doing a demo, right? Trying to have the show host do a demo and like pick up things and all that stuff is going to be kind of hard. So having a helper that will maybe even have like a rolling cart, just push it over, that's where it's going to be. Yeah. Unless you're like Doc Rock, where you're so used to doing unboxing videos, right? That you could do it. But again, this is helpful for you as a producer to start thinking about, okay, if there's a demo, how big is this product? What does it look like? Are there any sounds that I need to be mindful of? Because if it's a big ass box, right? Oops, my bad. But if it's a big box, right? Is it going to bang the mic? Does it make sense for you to have a Rode Wireless Go? These, again, going to be helpful for you as you're thinking about the gear. I'll even say this too, is that as a remote live selling producer, I don't supply the gear. I don't. I actually put together a gear kit and then I send that over to the client and I say, boom, these are all the different things that you need to have. So for those of you that have a kit.co or an Amazon Associates account, I know Rocky Nash Live was talking about how she's doing live streaming on Amazon. So yeah, drop your affiliate codes. That's what you do. Yeah. And then there are some other people that are out there that actually do video in a box, studio in a box, and they'll push it out there. So it's up to you on what your business model is. I'll say from like hitting the ground running, boom, boom, boom. It was easier for me just to say, here's my list, right? You're responsible for this in your budget. Yeah. And then I can help you put that all together when we're doing the tech rehearsal. Good? All right. So having a helper is always going to be a great thing to have. Now, Holy Hoop Yoga is saying, I need to see a live shopping demo, please. I mean, honestly, you could go over to Amazon Live right now if you wanted to see a live shopping. What I'm doing right now is setting the stage for all the things that you need to know. Because you could go over there and you could take a look at a live shopping stream right now, but you have to understand the nuances behind it. You have to reverse engineer all the things that made that live shopping stream successful. Good? Great. So let me answer a couple of your questions right now so that way I could pop through it. So if you have questions, go ahead and just drop them right now. So this one over here, Iographer, what's a good place for royalty-free music, paid or not? I personally like to use Soundstripe. There's other ones out there that Luria and Doc use, so I'm sure they'll hop into the comments and drop their affiliate links. So go with that. This is actually, Iographer, this is a really good question too, because even when I'm producing a run of show for a client, and we'll have a countdown timer, or even the live shopping countdown timer, and I'll say, do you want music playing? What's your vibe? So that's up to you as a live selling producer if that's an additional cost, right? Because you're designing, you're creating this live shopping experience for your audience. Jeff is asking what other platforms other than Amazon are killing it with live shopping. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. So stay for that. Okay. Gabe is asking, do sits make better live streaming producers? Hell yes. Hell yes.
How you like that?
Especially Slay Trooper. That's for sure. All right. Let me jump in here. Let's see here. Oh, Epidemic Sound for royalty-free music. That's what Ecamm was saying. Thank you so much. Diego is asking, how can we make or produce content to be different between live selling and traditional teleshopping shows? Diego, I would say take a look at what the teleshopping shows, how they look like and how they sound like. You can see it too, because more often than not, a lot of the questions are pre-staged. They're questions that the marketing team put together. They're not the questions that Doc, Jeff, and Rocky and I would ask, like, well, how much does it weigh? Like, will this actually fit in my purse? Like, from a consumer perspective, that's where I generally find live shopping is different from your typical teleshopping. Because in teleshopping, it's so pragmatic that they don't actually involve the audience in there. I hope that answers your question. Good. All right, let's see. I'm scrolling through here. Already got that question. Let's see. I should have started these as, you know what'd be really cool, Ken and Glenn, if you're listening, Paul Duncan, Caleb, drop this in the comments. If there was an auto feature in Ecamm where if it just automatically saw a Q dash or a Q semicolon, that it would automatically star it, because then I would know, oh, that's a question. Like, that would be really cool. This is a good one. Do I need to hire a slender model to be the presenter for my yoga collection? No, you need someone that's going to be real, that could actually talk about your product. Like, if I'm getting yoga pants, right? I want to know that when I do some squats and some lunges, it's not going to bust on me. Like, that's what I want to know. Can I do this? Can I do that? Is it the one where, like, if my daughter runs over to me with her dirty little hands, like, is it going to get stained? Like, how easy is it to clean? To me, it's not even about height or weight. It's about product knowledge. It's about being a key opinion leader, knowing how your consumer is actually going to use it. So thank you so much for asking that question. Here's another one. Let's see. Ooh, should I consider switching to Ecamm instead of using OBS or VMix? I mean, Gabe, that's really up to you. That's your call. But I mean, like, you want to model after excellence, so go after Ecamm. That's right. What?
Hit you with that do-do-do-do-do.
Good. Oh, you know what I'll even say about that too, Gabe? Is that oftentimes these live shopping platforms will actually, oh my God, they would actually recommend that their clients that have zero freaking knowledge about live streaming in general, they'd be like, you should learn OBS. And like, OMG, remember the very first time that we learned OBS? It's like the IKEA of live streaming. Like, don't even get me started. Why would you even try to pre-frame that with your client of like, oh, you want to live stream on our amazing, SaaS platform? Then learn OBS, which is like the hardest freaking thing, right? Compared to Ecamm? Damn, because then what does that do? That already sets the stage of like, this is hard. So what does the client think? Oh, then that must be hard too. So that's something I think even as you as a live selling producer, you have to retrain these live shopping platforms to get them on track. Okay. Let's see. This is a good question too. She's like, I don't even know what live shopping platforms are. You're talking about QVC? No, I'm going to show you a little bit of those too in just a second. You guys are like way ahead of me. Let's see. Should I get on LinkedIn? You mean for like live shopping or for the show? Because the show is only on YouTube. Live shopping on LinkedIn is not a thing, so no. So no. But live shopping as a video producer, yes. Good. Okay, did I catch all of them so far? If not, I'm just going to run through here and put some stars, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the show. Dun. Yeah. Doc, can you go jump in there, please? Thank you. Oh, this is a good one. Can you live sell books? Yes, absolutely you can, especially on Amazon Live. This is a really good one. So we had talked about this in season 1, but if you're a live video producer, you could actually go to these publishing houses or to these authors. Yes, by the way, you just go to Amazon and you see who's going to be writing a book because they have them on pre-order. More often than not, these authors, they are responsible for pre-selling their book online, especially on Amazon, right? That's your opportunity to hit them up and pitch your services and say like, hey, so when your book drops, do you want to do like a live shopping stream on Amazon where people are already whipping out their credit cards, already have them stored to purchase your book right then and there? Okay, so hot prayers and poetry, that's definitely something that you could do. You could do ebooks if you wanted to. You could do all the different things, okay? Monty coming in with a win. He's saying audience engagement definitely drives a different feel to a live shopping show experience. Good. All right, I think I am pretty much in the clear when it comes to questions. What kind of camera do I have? GH5. Boom. All right, let's go over here. Let's talk about the different live shopping platforms that are out there. So this is for Holy Hoop that was just asking. Okay, so this is a marketplace, which means this is a marketplace where there are already customers on there. They are so used to shopping online that if a brand already has a shop on there, you could pitch to them. So Amazon Live, oh my God, think of all the different brands that are already on there that could definitely benefit from an Amazon Live shopping event. Monty will already tell you as far as how to work with brands, right? Then there's also Network, there's Pop Shop Live, there's Shop Shops, Talk Shop Live, and whatnot. The things to know about these different platforms, as a live selling producer, I can't help it also as a marketer, but I want to know, if my client is going to produce a live shopping event on your marketplace, what does that promotional plan look like? Is there a way for people to register? Can I customize that landing page? This kind of goes beyond the live selling producer, but it's helpful to know. Yeah? Because even then you want to make sure that the graphics on those registration pages match what you have on the show and all the different things. Okay? Doc Rock is saying Amazon Live is the beast. I would definitely agree from a creator, Amazon influencer perspective. Yes. Yeah, but I will tell you, Doc, when you're working with brands, if becoming a live selling producer is something that you're thinking of, it's helpful to know the other players that are out there too. So when you take a look at this, right, Network, Pop Shop Live, Shop Shop, Talk Shop Live, whatnot, these are platforms where you want to, if you haven't done so already, schedule a demo, understand the different nuances behind it. Think of, okay, what would a storyboard look like on Amazon Live? Since some of you are coming from the Amazon Live perspective, what do we know? Yeah, we know that when we're on Amazon Live, there's things over here on the bottom that get in the way. We also know that there's that ongoing emojis that are always like happening over here. So it makes sense for you to have, things that are happening on this side. We also know that on Amazon Live that when it plays the video, it's automatically muted. So you as a live selling producer, you can upsell and say, we should have an overlay that says click to unmute. Or to even help an Amazon influencer by saying follow, like make sure that you follow me. And where is that follow button when they're watching on desktop? Where is that follow button when it's on mobile, right? These are all things that you want to be mindful of when you're thinking about storyboarding, where the graphics are going to be, all the different things. I'm stretching your brain right now. Yeah. Oh my God, I only got 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So white label, these are other platforms that you can use. So there's Bambuser, there's CommentSoul, there's Firework. Firework is actually really interesting because they're working a lot with chefs and grocery outlets or just those high-end food distributions and stuff. And so they're hiring chefs to do some things on there too. Livescale is my favorite, mostly because they're working with luxury brands. And so you could just go to their website right now, livescale.tv, and that's a good place to see how it's being done. One of you had asked earlier, I want to see a live shopping stream. I would say go to livescale.tv and follow them on social media because they're always promoting what brands are using their platform for a live shopping experience. And you will automatically see the difference between a livescale.tv versus an Amazon live influencer. Because more often than not, an Amazon live influencer has a strategy where they're going to have so many products in their carousel, especially if they're A-lister, so that they could be everywhere. Understanding the strategies of the different platforms is very helpful. When you think about Livescale TV and the quality of their clientele, there's a certain flow, there's a certain regalness to it. It's how they incorporate the on-screen graphics. And so when you keep that in mind, it's going to be really helpful. Good. Paul saying, you're getting money's worth of training from Stephanie. I know, I need to wrap it up soon too. Oh, P.S. by the way, yeah, if you haven't already, head on over to ecamm.tv/live selling so you get freebies and workshop access. Good. Okay, let's see. Somebody's gonna get you paid. Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is an extension of your business if you're already a live video producer. All right, cool. So we talked about white label. Let's also talk about event-based. So there's Bizzabo, there's Brand Live. I'm not going to go through these too much because this is your opportunity to do your homework as well. There's also virtual assistants, Ghost Retail Hero. Here's the thing, yeah? Here's what I want you to be mindful of. These live shopping platforms, if you think about how the organization is structured, these are SaaS platforms. These are software as a service platforms. And as I mentioned before, they know their product. They know the bells and whistles. They know the product roadmaps. They're like, oh, it could do this and it could integrate here and all the different things. Client doesn't know what client doesn't know. Client just says, I have a budget and I need to spend it. I hear live shopping is a thing. So SaaS platform, it looks like you have everything that I need to do. SaaS platform then says, okay, great, this is awesome. We'd love to host you on our platform. Go learn OBS. And then the client's like, what the? Right? So you come in there and you save the day because you will actually have a formal onboarding process of like, okay, so let's think through your live shopping event. Has your audience ever done a live shopping event with you before? Do they even know what that means? Are they familiar with this SaaS platform? Let's be honest. People know YouTube, people know Amazon, people know Instagram, right? But if you're introducing any of those platforms that I showed you earlier, it might be different. So one of the things, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to tell you this. But one of the things that I'm going to tell you is that you should even insert in your run of show like a demo video of how to purchase. Like your influencer, your show host should be able to explain, hey, so if you want to go ahead and purchase this bundle now, go ahead and enter the code, boom. And then when you're in the checkout process, this is how it's going to look like, because that will make the checkout process seamless. What you don't want to happen is people are like, hell yeah, I'm ready to buy. I'm about to throw my credit card in your face. And then they're like, why isn't it taking my promo code? Again, this is another reason why you want to have someone in the comments, because you as the producer in the show, you're running the show. Yeah. So you know what? Sorry, I just saw this. I'm like, first of all, woe should just not be like in this. Like it should be a capital dub. Right? Be the best middle woman. Oh, hey, you know what? Be the showstopper. Be the showrunner. Okay, cool. All right. So having said that, I've got about 5 minutes left in here. Let me remind you again. So the next show, we're going to go all out. I'm going to show you how to get started with live selling. This is perfect for you if you haven't even thought about it. If you're like, damn, Steph, like, what do I need to get started? How do I start pitching myself out there? What are some of these platforms that I should be mindful of? P.S. By the way, the ones that I just showed on the screen, start checking those out now. Those are for you to start doing your demos, to start understanding them, because I'll tell you this, some of those SaaS platforms are looking for producers. There's a need. There's a gap. And so that's where you could really go ahead and step in. So yes, be the showrunner. Good. All right, so getting started with live selling is happening on May 12th. If you haven't already, make sure that you add this to the calendar. Caleb or Paul is going to drop them in the comments for you, but it's going to be ecamm.tv/live streaming. And then we'll go through all of that stuff. So if you love today, I've got so much more in store for you. We're going to know how to script your live selling stream, live selling tips, producers, and checklists. Again, like I said, this is very different from a live video producer because you have more people that are entering into the arena, more egos, more things at stake. And so you need to make sure that you are pretty much prepared. Shout out to Anna Gill. Thank you, Stephanie and Ecamm Live. This was amazing. Good. Yes, Rocky. This is money right here. The live selling host should demo how to make a purchase, put it in the rundown for sure. Because they might not know. They're like, oh, they'll even ask about shipping and all those other stuff. And so you want to have like even an FAQ. What are some frequently asked questions to prepare the people, the moderators, they're going to be dropping into the comments. Yeah. Again, that's going to be on May 26th, producer's checklist, all the different things that you should be mindful of. Then we also have in June, live selling 2022 trends and what you can expect. I'm going to tell you right now, you are so lucky that Ecamm also streams in a 9x16 because that's definitely where I see it happening. That's for sure. Ecamm Fam live selling extravaganza. So for, I think it was Holy Hoop that was asking, we're actually going to do a Facebook live shopping demo with Press and Sew. So that's going to be a good one. Content creators that are here that you have your own merch, holy hell, you want to be a part of that too, because if you're not already creating like a 20-second reel of like, hey, this is my merch, buy it now, you should. Why the hell not? You might as well, especially if you're on YouTube Live. So get in there. Good. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh my God. No. Why? Renee, why? You can't. No. Just no. Do clients ever push you to stream via? No. If you're asking the other question, if they ask me to use Zoom into a live shopping platform, I've seen other live shopping events do that, and everyone, even the SaaS platform, oh my God, I'm trying to be nice here, but like we'll roll our eyes. It's like, but Zoom isn't about live streaming. So if someone asks you that, please, Renee, please be prepared to show them all the wonderful things that Ecamm is possible of doing that Zoom can't even. Yeah. Good. Let's see this. Let's see. Will you show e-commerce owners how to live sell? Yeah. That's why we have the run of show. Oh my God. Valerie Pinks. Oh, Valerie, you're here. Yes. Yeah, I saw your name earlier, but I didn't get to say hi.
How you like that?
Yes. Learning so much. So stick around with me. Like I said, we're going to have 8 weeks together. Boom, boom, boom. Iographer is asking which app works best with Shopify. Livescale.tv is a great one over there. Jeff is saying, oh yeah, I'm going to be on Jeff's show tomorrow. Jeff, can you drop a link in there for me? Thank you. Good. Your moderators can help. Use them. PS, by the way, if you're working with a brand and they have moderators, make sure that they are like taking care of the moderators. Good. Let's see here. What else do we have? Ooh, so here, see, we just blew someone's world. Wow, I had no idea about live shopping, although I did make 20-second clips of my merch with no money results yet. Okay, test it out, right? What are some other things that you could do with your clips? PS, by the way, like for those of you that need merch commercials, that's another upsell right there. I'm just going to tell you right now. Good. All right. Renee's saying, I love firing clients. No time for unruly clients. Let's be honest, right? There are good clients, and then there are like cray clients. And the cray clients, you just refer out to someone else. So if you're ever like, why did Stephanie refer a client to me? It's like, because they're cray. All right, friends, thank you so much. I will catch you next time. Again, the next show is going to be next Thursday. We're looking at May 12th, same time, same amazing channel on Ecamm. So having said that, let's peace out. Let's do this. Alrighty, friends. Thank you. I'll catch you next time. Hold up. Where is my sound? What is up? Sound effects. Where'd you go? Let's do this. There you go. Look at all that. I did all that. All that. Me. And then Bradley. Look at here. Thank you, Paul. You're the best.